and welcome to another exciting edition of Cable & Wireless's Year in Review. We've packaged in 1 hour the many exciting activities and events that took place over the period April 1st, 2007 to March 31st, 2008. We certainly hope that you enjoyed this program and do give us your feedback at the end of the show. Happy viewing. The last year has been a very exciting one for us, especially the last quarter, where through the sale of Cable & Wireless shares, we have extended the number of stakeholders in our company. We'll share this with you, and more so, we hope you will stay with us as we recap some of the many events spanning product launches and sponsorships, as well as contributions to education and cultural development, among many others. Our signature Make-A-Wish for the Elderly program, celebrated with the Rotary Club of Layamiga, marked its 4th year this year. For the first time in the 4-year life of the program, nominations were also received from overseas, adding a touch of internationality to the program, thanks to the internet. Senior executives in Cable & Wireless and members of the Rotary Club of Layamiga made several stops around the island, making deliveries of gifts to our senior citizens and those not so senior but in need. Not to be left undone, worthy nominees in Nevis were presented with their gifts, and this year had the honor of a personal visit from the Chief Executive as part of the presenting team.
Just want to say Happy Valentine's. We wanted to bring a smile to your face and I wasn't seeing it, you see, so I was hesitating, but Happy Valentine's and much love from Cable & Wireless and the Rotary Club of Layamiga.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for what you all have done for me and also my family. I never expected, but it's a real joy to me, and I'm feeling happy for my Valentine's Day. My last daughter was here with me. She lived on Tuesday, gone back, and she hugged me and she kissed me and she said, "Mama, you will hear from me for Valentine's Day." I said, "Thank you. May the Lord bless you."
Okay, don't cry, it's okay, we love you. 25 mothers were presented with complimentary Mother's Day gift baskets in an event which is now in its 3rd year. An idea which began with a suggestion from a member of staff that we add mothers to the list of customers who benefit from our benevolence has now become a fixed item on our social outreach calendar. Of course, our promotional Mother's Day offers were still maintained, with everyone enjoying the very popular Zero Your Balance promotion, as well as discount offers on fixed line calls for Mother's Day. In a unique proposition for Father's Day 2007, Cable & Wireless ran a promotion encouraging fathers to become more actively engaged in supporting their children. Answering the call of faithfulness, many fathers brought the photos of their babies into our offices to participate in a cute baby competition. The prize of $5,000 worth of shares was eventually decided by popular text, and saw baby Shiloh becoming the newest shareholder in the Cable & Wireless family. In the meantime, sponsorship of the Antioch Baptist Church's Teenagers Ministry continued with frequent updates of the progress of that program, which benefits senior citizens. Collaboration with the Reach for Recovery Association of St. Kitts afforded over 100 women the opportunity to get free mammograms, complements Cable & Wireless. This was part of the awareness of Breast Cancer Month in October 2007. To qualify, women had to turn up at a lecture organized by the Reach for Recovery Association, which received an overwhelming show of support. It is planned to make this partnership an annual event owing to the huge success. After nearly a decade and a half, support for the Summer Soccer School of Excellence is still ongoing. Enthusiastic boys and girls who participate in this program each year anxiously look forward to this camp-style training, which helps to sharpen their football prowess. The Ministry of Sports continues to hail the program as being a model, not only because of its longevity, but also because of the tangible results that they have seen since its inception. After 2 years of working with the Nevis Football Association, its members have expressed the hope that this effort would continue to reap rewards. Apart from the obvious branding opportunities, many promotions are run at some of the more popular games, stimulating attendance and excitement for the fans. Meanwhile, an historic alliance between Caban Wireless and the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association was created in November last year and announced at a press conference. This was the first time that Caban Wireless had sponsored the Premier Football League, and much promise was given to the successful outcome of the most popular sport with the most popular telecommunications company.
And so my second task is to thank the government of St. Kitts and Nevis for investing in the facility at Warner Park, which allows us now to go back to Warner Park with an improved facility and with an improved product. And as a result, we have a company of the quality, international company of the quality of Cable and Wireless being prepared to partner with us in this venture. So could we thank Cable and Wireless and the government of St. Kitts and Nevis.
The second year of a 2-year sponsorship of the Cable and Wireless Victory Dot Revelers continued, with the team maintaining a place in the top 3 at the close of the league.
Live from downtown.
Using momentum from the fitness rave all across the Federation, Cable and Wireless sponsored the bodybuilding competition organized by Shapes Gym of Nevis. The competition provided much excitement for fitness fans and others, and from all reports was well received. Bodybuilding gave way to another active sport when Cable and Wireless associated its sponsorship to the OECS Volleyball Championship last year, which was held in St. Kitts. Sponsorship afforded the opportunity to brand the venue and distribute giveaways to the many patrons at the event. The sponsorship check was received by Mr. Glenn Quinlan, who underscored the unwavering support received from Cable and Wireless through the years. More recently, our sports sponsorship was rounded off with the partnership with the SKN AAA hosting of the first ever Carifta Games, which were held in St. Kitts and Nevis. Being named the official telecoms provider of the games, all telecommunications services were provided to the game by Cable and Wireless in exchange for dominant exposure throughout the stadium and many commercial events to include e-top-up and other services provided over the 3-day staging of the event. As has been the case for a number of years, Cable and Wireless's support for Carnival has been critical to its success. 2007 was no exception, as the cash injection ensured that many of the staple activities for Carnival remained for the enjoyment of locals and visitors. Children's Carnival, Calypso tents, Queen contestant and mass troops were the direct beneficiaries of sponsorship. 2 Cable and Wireless staff were among the contestants vying for the crown of Miss St. Kitts last Carnival, with both of them placing in the top 3. To crown off the sponsorship of Carnival activities last year was sponsorship of the Extreme Juve Troupe for the 2nd consecutive year. From all accounts, participation was at an all-time high, and revelers could be seen from miles away in their B-Mobile signature colors. Culturama in Nevis received a significant boost last year with a 5-fold increase in sponsorship. In addition to the direct contribution to the Culturama committee, sponsorship was made to a Queen contestant as well as to a number of bands, thus significantly impacting the overall experience of the festival.
This year, we have significantly
through negotiation and renegotiation, increased our sponsorship as we embrace the vision of the current administration to make this event a profitable venture in the short to medium term. That is the confidence that Cable & Wireless has in the ability of the organisers to, over time, turn around the festival and make it an income generator.
One of the most successful community festivals in the islands, Green Valley, enjoyed the partnership of Cable & Wireless last year with sponsorship complements B-Mobile. The funds, which were directly invested in the troops which participated on Parade Day, resulted in a record turnout of individual troops. Festival organizers were hopeful that would spur interest in this area in future festivals and were magnanimous in their praise of Cable & Wireless.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to Cable & Wireless once more for joining with Green Valley Festival to bring off one of the best festivals of the 11 years that we have been operating.
The St. Kitts Music Festival is the single biggest event on the sponsorship calendar of Cable & Wireless. Over the last 3 years, Cable & Wireless has made a substantial investment in this festival to ensure its status as one of the premier music festivals in the Caribbean. Sponsorship of this event offers us an opportunity to showcase our brand to an international audience, as well as provide connectivity that is vital to the success of the 3-day event. Rounding out the list of major activities under the heading of cultural development and development of the arts, the company continues to work with a number of local fashion enterprises to demonstrate the versatility of its B-Mobile brand. Just last December, Cable & Wireless was the major sponsor of Brown Sugar's Christmas fashion show. The event also featured a B-Mobile line, much to the delight of the fashion-conscious patrons. Education still takes special place for us at Cable & Wireless. So not surprisingly, the list of endeavors in this area continues to grow year on year. We are immensely proud of our scholarship program, where bright young boys and girls entering into high school each year are provided with a full scholarship throughout their high school years. They join dozens of other scholars who are part of the cycle from previous years, many of whom go all the way to sixth form level.
The Cable & Wireless Scholarship means a lot to me because it provides books, uniforms, and it also makes life easier for me and my mother.
First of all, I would like to thank Cable & Wireless for the scholarship of my daughter. You know, it helped me so much, you won't believe it, because I have 6 beautiful kids, and just by getting help for one, I just have to take care of the other 5. And when you have a company that give back to the poor people, and especially the future, our children is our future, and they give back to the future of tomorrow, you have to wonder, right, if you should spend your money somewhere else or with Cable & Wireless. Cable & Wireless, I just want to say I love you, and I have tried the rest, And now I have come to the best. Cable and Wireless, there's no one like you.
Our sponsorship of the Academic Excellence Program continues to bear fruits when each year dozens of students who have excelled in overseas examinations are showered with deserving accolades. The setting is a grand recognition dinner, coordinated with the input of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce and the Ministry of Education. A significant part of this exercise is also the awarding of cash in the equivalent of 2 semesters' fees to the runner-up state scholar. The Adopt a School project continues to receive support during graduation and sports day in particular, as well as other fundraising activities of the respective schools. Meanwhile, funds accumulated via the Connect program to benefit the sports programs of high schools on St. Kitts and Nevis have been handed over to a number of schools during the year under review. The checks were gratefully received by the schools' principals, who highlighted some of the ways that the monies would be spent to assist the sporting activities of the respective schools.
I am very pleased to have been invited this morning, by surprise of course, to receive or to be part of the reception of $4,000 for Charlestown Secondary. I saw on the face of the Minister, Carlisle Powell, and also the headmaster, the great joy, because we can think of many ways in which we can spend the $4,000 in a very short time. The project is new to me, but I have followed this morning and I realized that CSS can get great sums of money if they work the program. And so I'm encouraging the headmaster and the teachers here present and all of us to put our support behind the project. The government is very concerned in keeping young people off the streets, and a good way of doing it is to get them into sports.
The Newish Little Institute of Learning is now being co-sponsored by Cable and Wireless after having been approached by the director of that institution to align our support with the teaching of after-school classes in mathematics and other subject areas. The initial contract has already been extended for another year, signifying the success story realized from sponsoring of this venture. The runner-up winners of the Leeward Island Debating Competition in 2007 were hosted to a cocktail reception during the year under review, in celebration of their sterling performance in placing second in that competition. Cable and Wireless willingly accepted the invitation to acknowledge the effort at the request of the CFB College. Students of high schools in St. Kitts and Nevis were able to cash in on the 2 meg broadband offer in more ways than one late last year. In addition to being given a $200 voucher, which was used to discount the cost of a desktop, the high school's internet service was similarly upgraded to 2 megs, following an announcement at a formal ceremony held at the Basti High School auditorium. A similar announcement in Nevis was greeted with praise at a ceremony at the Charlestown Secondary School.
These are exciting times because it means that you can have your library at home. It means that in the old days when those of us who could afford would make a down payment on encyclopedias, you can now access them from home. It says to me that Cable and Wireless have thought this one out and they're making every effort to make sure that you get your Christmas early.
Strengthening the foreign language competencies of our students was the motivation behind sponsoring the French e-learning software installed at the Sandy Point High School in December last year. Cable and Wireless acceded to a request to purchase the software, which was deployed at the school and which is expected to significantly improve the competency skills of the students studying French.
This morning I have the pleasure of launching an e-learning program, a French e-learning program in partnership with Cable and Wireless. So I would like to thank Cable and Wireless for helping Europass to be part of the school in Sandy Point and giving to the whole school the free access, as well as those who cannot do French in a normal base. They can come to the computer room and learn by themselves. Can be students who French is clashing with another discipline, so they can come by their own and learn by their own, as well as teachers and teachers, administrators, and so on. So it's open for everybody. So I'm very glad this program is installed here, and I would like to thank very much Cable and Wireless for facilitating that access. Thank you very much.
A gift of a laptop was presented to a young student whose unfortunate circumstance left her wheelchair-bound. In presenting the instrument to the young lady, the Chief Executive wished her well with her educational endeavours.
Afternoon. We had a quick chat just briefly this afternoon, and I want to say that I strongly believe, as do Cable and Wireless, who I represent, that no child should be left behind, not in this day of technology. And so it's very unfortunate, the illness that you have, but at Cable and Wireless we'll make sure through technology that you can keep in touch with the rest of the world. You will be able to access anything anybody else could access. You'll have free internet, you'll be able to research, do your homework, keep growing your intellect and your academic qualifications, and like Mrs. Kane said earlier, perhaps we can even arrange later to video conference so you will actually be in the classroom with the rest of your classmates, but at home. So it's my great pleasure to be able to donate on behalf of Cable and Wireless this laptop, which I know that you love. We spoke about it earlier. It'll give you access to the whole world, and you'll be able to feel so very special. Now you're holding tight to your teddy, so we haven't taken it out so that you can have it nicely wrapped when you go back, but all the best.
I'd like to say a special thanks to Cable and Wireless and Miss Laverne Keynes and Win FM, and actually this was on my birthday list as well, and again Christmas came early for me this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank Cable and Wireless and Win FM for this kind gesture. It would really help Kyla to go a long way in her academic achievements. I would like also at this time to thank everyone who has been praying for us and anyone who has shown their kindness or their support to Kyla and myself since this unfortunate situation has come into our lives. I would like to thank you also for your prayer, and I would like to ask you to continue to pray for us as we depend on God as we go through this trying situation. Thanks to everyone once again.
A number of launches punctuated the calendar of the last financial year, but none was more impactful than the launch of the 2 megs upgrade in September of last year. The announcement was all the more significant because while the speed increased in some cases fourfold, the price remained constant. The announcement was very well received by all stakeholders and was in one instance compared to the vision that government has in regards to affordability to internet access.
I like the thought that Cable and Wireless are encouraging us to think bigger, to think faster. And that is exactly what Cable and Wireless will be doing with the launch this afternoon. Every customer out there would also love the thought that they can get faster service for a very low price. Indeed, some are being upgraded for no charge. That is what I've been advised. And so the customers would early on get an immediate benefit. All Cable and Wireless customers who spend lots of time on the information highway are now being invited and encouraged to change lanes as it were and proceed directly to the much faster broadband super highway. Those of you who get very impatient when you have to endure the challenges of slow music downloads, and those of you who, if you are like me, stare at the screen as you have to endure the headaches of very slow email attachments. My friends at Cable and Wireless have taken the lead and are quick to bring not just some, but all broadband customers what they want, which is better and faster service.
Consistent with its commitment to provide first-class internet service, Cable and Wireless in July last year announced a new relationship with HP, while at the same time bringing to market a launch that would twin the HP offering with the XNet service.
Today we open yet another chapter in the story of Cable and Wireless's initiative to bring information and communication technology, what we call ICT, into every home in the Federation. During the past 2 years, we have ensured that over 2,000 homes have affordable devices that enable them, and especially their children, to enjoy the benefits of internet access and to be part of the information revolution that is now sweeping the world. I have just returned from a conference held in Barbados where the Deputy Prime Minister, Mia Mottley, spoke of the direct relationship between information and communication technology and the sustainable growth of the developing economies of the world. Many studies have been done on this subject, and there is a proven link between the amount of ICT availability within a nation and its ability to grow its economy in a sustainable way. Cable and Wireless understands this link and has demonstrated its commitment to work with both governmental and non-governmental agencies to ensure the so-called digital divide that will prevent this region from being an effective part of the global economy is closed as quickly as possible. So I begin with a challenge to Hewlett-Packard and indeed all PC developers. Look at where your product growth will come from and ensure that you have the products that the developing markets of the world need. There are an estimated 775 million PCs in the world today. This is predicted to rise to 2.25 billion by the year 2015, and the vast majority of this increase will come from the developing world. It is often said that technology will change the developing world. I believe that the developing world will and is changing technology.
Later in the year, the company beefed up its marketing activity for XNet, initiating a number of roadshows that made stops in several communities across St. Kitts. Young people were encouraged to surf the net using the computers set up at these roadshows, whilst the adults were provided with vouchers to take advantage of offers on desktop at the same time. The launch of our online store earlier this year came a few days before Valentine's Day, giving an added option of online shopping to customers seeking gifts for the occasion. Immediately after the site was launched, a number of online activities were tracked as customers used the pending Valentine's Day celebration to shop for friends and loved ones. In fact, a few purchases were made from overseas as gifts for persons living at home, a very interesting use of the site. Throwing into the mix free gift wrapping, a free balloon and free delivery on Valentine's Day, the staff at B-Mobile ensured a hassle-free Valentine's Day for several customers.
Furthermore, the internet is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So you don't have to worry about finding a parking spot. And we all know how difficult that could be nowadays in downtown Charlestown and Bastille. Enter the B-Mobile eStore. This first of its kind online shop brings with it the conveniences just alluded to, plus the benefits and value that only Cable and Wireless and B-Mobile could give. This is the perfect marriage of technology or technological innovation and superior customer service. And what better timing than at Valentine's, when we all need more options and choices for showing those who are dear to us how special they are and how appreciated they are.
Recognizing the value and the power of a brand, Cable & Wireless has constantly explored ways of maintaining and expanding its visibility. For that reason, a number of billboards were refreshed and deployed across St. Kitts and Nevis, while one vehicle was branded as a mobile store and was used to conduct weekend sales in Nevis. Vendor umbrellas were also distributed to a number of street vendors across St. Kitts and Nevis. The annual general meeting last year gave shareholders a chance to opine about their company and its performance during the financial year under review. Here's what some of them had to say.
Very happy with Cable & Wireless, and I'm glad for them. And the staff is very helpful, and everything is all right so far.
Cable & Wireless is the best as far as I'm concerned.
Well, if we're talking about Cable & Wireless's performance for 2007, I would say it has been above satisfactory. As you know, there's always room for improvement, but I'm quite satisfied under the circumstances.
I think they're competitive and they have a little edge at the moment in this country of ours, so I think the future looks good for them.
I've been very happy with Cable & Wireless over the years, and the financial year, I'm expecting it to be just as good. I think we'll walk all over the competition. I'm a strong Cable & Wireless backer, so I expect them to follow before us.
September last year would be recorded as a truly historic moment in the history of Cable & Wireless St. Kitts and Nevis. At a joint press conference by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and Cable & Wireless, the Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, announced that government was selling its shares to Cable & Wireless International.
This afternoon, I must say, and I thank Pat and others, that we are very pleased that Cable & Wireless acted quite responsibly and demonstrated a sense of great sensitivity to the needs of our people. After extensive negotiations, they agreed that they would not exercise their right of first refusal in respect of some 1,661,538 shares of the 5,649,230 shares that were held by the government. In other words, they were prepared to give up their contractual rights in order to allow the government to offer just under 30% of its shares, or 5% or more of the total issued share capital of the company, back to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Hence, let's be generous, of course. Hence, under the sales agreement which I just signed, Cable & Wireless West Indies Limited would purchase the 5,640,230 shares of the government at an average price of approximately $6.41 per share, thus giving about $36,221,534 in total, but will immediately commence the process of listing 5% of the share of Cable & Wireless St. Kitts and Nevis Limited on the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange. It is expected that after the listing, shares held by the people of St. Kitts and Nevis in Cable & Wireless St. Kitts and Nevis Limited would now increase from 18%, where it stands today, to 23% in the future. Although we expect immediate action in respect of the listing and offer of the shares to the public, out of an abundance of caution, we have provided that under no circumstances the process should go beyond 1 calendar year. The agreement It also provides that the shares would be offered at a discount. Hence, although Cable and Wireless West Indies purchased the shares from the government at a price of $6.41 per share, it would be required, government has negotiated, and it is now required to make those same shares available to the public at $5 per share, plus the usual transaction cost.
Today, we would say that the people of the Federation are the real beneficiaries of this historic transaction, and I would encourage all to purchase shares when they become available on the market. So more Morticians and Divisions will have a chance to have a stake in a growing company, and this, for us, is an exciting time in the history of Cable and Wireless.
With the announcement of the sale of shares, there were many more processes to complete before the shares were made available to the public. A commitment was given to complete the sale of shares within 60 days after listing on the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange. With a lot of work behind the scenes and a series of meetings, the listing of the shares became a reality on Wednesday, 30th January 2008. Witnessed by corporate executives, directors of the ECSE and Cable and Wireless St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as shareholders and college students, the 45-minute program was engaging and stimulating.
You therefore need wide participation in the economy by those people who are also workers, so that you not only get a wage, but you participate in the economy by able to draw down dividends. It also makes you more literate as a citizen, an economic citizen, because then you have to question and ask questions about decisions made both by governments and by the private sector, so that people move from a stage where they are merely workers to a stage where they are actively participating in the economy, not only with respect to drawing the dividends, but by asking the important questions about the economy as a whole, the government's activity in participation, and the participation of private firms.
We are pleased to be able to cooperate with the government on its divestment policy. We look forward to continuing our partnership to assist the Federation in achieving its objective of widespread share ownership in private enterprise and its social agenda as a whole. Today's listing on the ECSE is both historic and unique, as it represents not only the first listing of a cable and wireless business, but the listing of the only cable and wireless business with public shareholding in the Eastern Caribbean. Further, given the current size of our shareholder base, we believe that listing on the ECSE will give a significant boost to the exchange.
Mapping the journey, which culminated in the listing of the shares, Chief Executive of Cable and Wireless St. Kitts and Nevis thanked all of the persons who were involved in the realization of the listing and looked forward to the launch of the share offer.
It's my absolute pleasure this morning to say thank you to so many different people. First of all, I'm going to start off with today's proceedings. So thanking the partners who helped with today's listing ceremony. Of course, Mrs. Laverne Keynes, our accomplished MC, who shared a very quick insight into the beginnings of Cable and Wireless and how far we've come. Sir Dwight Bennett, the Chairman of the ECSE, who stressed the importance of Cable and Wireless in its listing. Yes, Sir Dwight, we know you are the most technically advanced stock exchange in the region, and of course, who better to list than the most technically advanced telecommunications company.
The next announcement was the launch of the share offer by Cable and Wireless International, which took place at the Marriott in February this year. Hundreds of shareholders and potential shareholders responded to a public invitation to the launch of the share offer, and it took the opportunity at the ceremony to seek clarification on the requirements to purchase some of the 1.66 million shares that were on offer to the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, in a move that should see a significant increase in the number of public shareholders.
I'm particularly pleased that I'm able to join in this launch of Cable and Wireless public share offer so soon after its shares listing on the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange. The level of cooperation and goodwill demonstrated by Cable and Wireless signifies that they are not only acting in accordance with the terms of reference of the agreement with the government, but gives evidence of their strong commitment to assisting and serving the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. I wish to thank Cable and Wireless for this commitment to our country and people, and for pursuing their contractual undertaking in respect of this shared issue so readily.
A series of public education sessions were to follow, where the public was briefed on the requirements of the purchase. With the offer closed in late March, the public awaited notification to learn of the allocation of shares. In one of the most impressive customer promotions to date, Cable and Wireless in December last rolled out its Everyone's a Winner promotion. Spanning the entire month of December, a number of gifts were at stake for Cable and Wireless's customers conducting business during the period of the offer. The grand finale of the promotion ended with the presentation of the main prizes of a trip for two to New York, a quote shopping spree in the amount of $10,000, and the big one, $100,000 in cash.
So just to recap, ladies and gentlemen, we have Sean Hanley, who's just won the $100,000. He's from Nevis. There's a little bit of equity here, isn't there? $100,000 in Nevis and $20,000 in St. Kitts. That's okay. And then we have Selwyn for lands in Mount Idle in Sandy Point, and we also have Bernal Richards, who works at the Marriott, and in fact Bernal lives at Sandy Point too. He also lives at Sandy Point. He lives at Stadium View in Sandy Point, but he works at the Marriott.
Although the Everyone's a Winner campaign could be easily declared as the mother of all promotions, throughout the course of the year, Cable and Wireless excited its customers with a plethora of promotions, which saw customers winning cash, phones, and other items. The excitement from the January presentations barely behind us. By mid-February, the customers were introduced to a texting promotion with a BMW 1 Series for the taking. The financial year culminated in March with the March Madness promotion, with several dozen winners sharing in a pot of over $50,000. On a daily basis, customers who satisfy the qualifying requirements were presented with the $1,000 in cold hard cash. For the entire month, customers eagerly anticipated the phone call from the famed DJs Sugar Bowl and EK, whose responsibility it was to contact the winners on a daily basis.
March Madness. Cable and Wireless.
These are the first winners for
Cable and Wireless has gone mad for the month of March. Top up $20 or more for free evenings for that week and qualify for their daily draw. The madness continues. On Mad Mondays, it's $200. And on Nutty Tuesday, receive a minimum of $400. It's March Madness at Cable and Wireless.
It's March Madness. Cable and Wireless.
Thank you, Laverne. The name of this promotion is March Madness Promotion. For those of you who may not be aware, March actually is the end of our financial year, and we thought that we'll use the last month of our financial year to give back to our customers in a very meaningful way.
There's hardly a regional or international event held in St. Kitts and Nevis that the telecommunications resources of Cable and Wireless are not relied upon to deliver a world-class experience. During the last financial year, Cable and Wireless was designated Gold Partner for the ICAEC Accounting Conference, a designation which afforded us the opportunity to provide all telecommunication solutions at this regional conference.
Okay, thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Laverne. And I say a hearty thank you to Cable and Wireless. A sincere gratitude for this very strong show of support for the conference of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of the Caribbean.
Sponsorship was also extended to the Intech User Group Conference with the provision of polo shirts and lanyards. Cable and Wireless is passionate about providing information to its customers and various publics, and spared no effort as ever in so doing. Its executives continue to update customers on a monthly basis on a radio program called Connections. The ever-present press releases are also carried in the local newspapers, as well as on its website and through in-store mechanisms. The popular telecom stock, now in its third year, remains a favorite, with growing appeal among a wide cross-section of customers. The program, whose objectives is to reinforce product and service knowledge in a visible setting, is very highly rated from all reports. Cable and Wireless's social responsibility activities over the last 12 months have not gone unnoticed. The coveted title of Tourism Partner of the Year was conferred on Cable and Wireless St. Kitts and Nevis Limited at the annual Tourism Banquet and Awards organized by the Ministry of Tourism, Sports and Culture. The full-service telecommunications provider emerged victorious over other content and corporate entities on account of its overall involvement with the tourism product and its leading role in the involvement with sports tourism initiatives. Relative to the latter criteria, specific mention was made of Cable and Wireless's critical contribution to ICC Cricket World Cup 2007, as well as other tourism community projects. Accepting the award on behalf of Cable and Wireless was the very proud Patricia Walters, its chief executive. We are happy to play our part in the economic growth and development of St. Kitts and Nevis, and more particularly in tourism, the main engine of growth in the Federation. A world-class tourism product requires world-class telecommunications infrastructure, and so, in addition to our corporate social responsibility for which we are primarily being honored, we are also happy that we have provided sound telecommunications backing as part of the overall tourism product, she said. In acknowledgement of the partnership that has developed with Cable and Wireless, members of the Teenagers Ministry presented an award to Cable and Wireless in appreciation of its support. The presentation was incorporated in the church's anniversary celebration, which took place in March this year. After a number of successful years of sponsoring Kittitian Superstar, the organizers bestowed an award on Cable and Wireless following the close of the 2007 edition. Later in the year, the company was also the proud recipient of a plaque from the Department of Gender Affairs and the participants of the Project Viola. The plaque highlighted the outstanding contribution to the overall development of its Teen Mothers program.
Thank you for being on the Cable and Wireless CN Review. We certainly hope that you enjoy the package that we brought for you. And thank you too for your business over the period April 1st, 2007 to March 31st, 2008. We want to commit to you that we'll continue to bring you the best products and services there are so that your life, your business and your home can be enhanced through telecommunications. Have a good evening.